All right. Well, thank you for joining me this morning. We are going to walk through setting up lead generating Facebook or social ads, and then also creating a SmartPlan follow-up system. So that way you can um, continue that relationship with them and hopefully get them a new home in the next couple months. As we're going through the training, let me know what questions you have. Feel free, you can chat the questions and I'll pause every once in a while to answer some of those questions, or feel free to unmute yourself and let me know. I want to make sure that when you walk away from today's training, you feel a lot more comfortable and excited to be able to leverage the Facebook ads and SmartPlan systems in Command. So I'm going to jump right in. So before we do anything in Command, we need to double check and make sure that our Facebook pages are connected to Command. To do that, come up to the top right-hand corner where you see your name, and then click on the drop-down menu and select Settings. And then here it's going to show us all the connected applications that we have. So you'll see here we have Facebook post scheduling. Similar, but not what we need for today. So I'm going to scroll down to the marketing automation section, and it says Facebook Ads Manager, connected. This is what you need to have: your Facebook Ad Manager account connected to Command to be able to run paid Facebook ads. You also must have a Facebook business page. You cannot run Facebook ads through Command from your personal Facebook page. If you don't have a business page, it's super easy to set up, probably just takes a few minutes, and then you'll be able to connect. When you do log into Facebook, to your Ads Manager platform, you will actually be logging in using your personal login information, and then it will show you the different business pages you have associated with that account. I thought it would show me if I clicked on Manage, but it doesn't. So once you have double checked that you were all connected for Facebook, now we need to actually start creating our ads. And so today's ads are going to be lead generating ads. So it's going to be different than using a listing. Keller Mortgage, Keller Offers, those are two great tools that you can use for lead generating. You can also use, listings or any type of market stat information. But for today's class, I want to use a Keller Mortgage ad. It's super simple, and it can also maybe be that that little bit of information or savings that could save or get a potential buyer to actually decide to buy. Within Command, we have the Designs platform, and there's tons of content in Designs that you can use to create your ads. So I'm going to go to Design. So over on the left-hand side, it's the little, looks like a little paint easel. So I'm going to click on Designs. Just give it a second to load. And it's going to show all the designs that I have in here. I want to create a new design, so I will click on the plus symbol in the bottom right-hand corner. And then I'm going to select a social ad. Here in Designs, social more or less means social plus internet usage. So just click on social and then next. Designs is a little bit slower, so we'll just be extra patient with it today. And in Designs, we'll be able to pick all sorts of different lead generating ad marketing materials. Now, if you haven't used Designs before and you have a brand template, I recommend that before you even get started on creating an ad, click on the library button in the top right-hand corner, and then come over here to the brand kit button, and you can add any of the specific colors for your brand and any fonts. And this is going to be really helpful to make sure that all of your marketing materials across every platform and across every developer or marketer that's building this content for you, it all looks the same. So if you want to add a color, just click on the plus sign, and then you can type in the code right here. Is probably going to be the simplest way for you to add that color. So I just recommend doing that, so that way you can have synergy across all of your marketing materials. Once you've done that, over here on the left-hand side, we have a ton of different options of content. And all of these pieces of marketing material are already pre-made. They are templates that you can just go in and really simply and very quickly update. As a KW agent, you have the right to use all of these images for marketing yourself. So just be mindful before you consider using any other image from a listing or anything else that you find on the internet. You may have to pay some copyright usage fees, but you don't have to worry about that in Command. So you can scroll through here and you can see all the different options that you have within listings, buyers. We have lead generation. So we'll start here. So lead generating, through a website. So if you want to drive traffic to your website, home value, a bunch of different options here. But then I look up in buyer, and there is already a Keller Mortgage option. And so I want to use Keller Mortgage for today's ad. So what I want to do is I'm going to look through all these, and you can see here, the top, it says Instagram or Facebook. So if I click on it right now, Instagram is highlighted. So all of these designs are already rendered, are already designed so they render properly within Instagram. And if I click on Facebook, it adjusts them so they are the wide framed images that are going to render best on Facebook. So that way you don't have to go through and resize it or anything. Designs has already done it for you. So I'm just going to go through here, see if I find an image I like. Let's use Your Dream Home is Waiting. So just click on Use, and it will pull up the design. Now here's the thing. For a Keller Mortgage ad, we don't have a piece of property here. We're not advertising a piece of property. So some of the GREC rules and regulations are not required. But also within Facebook, you're not allowed to have more than 20% of the image covered in text. So what we have here, Your Dream Home is Waiting, in text is already good to go. We don't want to add anything else. We don't want to add a Keller Williams First Atlanta logo. We don't want to add your own personal logo because that's just going to add more text to the image. So I can just rename this real fast. I'll do KM Lead Gen 730. Perfect. And then I'm just going to leave this as is. I don't need to do anything to it. It's that simple. And I click Done. Now, the benefit of using designs is going to be that you don't have to download this image or do anything to it. I'll be able to pull it directly out of Command into my paid ad. So once you have your marketing materials set up, now it's time to go to campaigns and actually set up your Facebook ad. So click on the megaphone icon, campaigns, on the left-hand side. And this will load our campaigns dashboard. And this is just going to provide some quick overview information for your campaigns, what you've done for emails, paid campaigns, social posts, all that. Up in the right-hand corner here, you can see connected accounts. So if you need to adjust any of your attached social account, you can do that here by clicking on Manage. And then up in the top right-hand corner, I'm going to click Create a New Campaign. And it's going to give me 5 options, and I'm going to select Social Ad Paid. Over here on the right-hand side, it says social post. That's going to be an organic post that's only going to go out to the followers that you already have on your business page. Today's ad is all about reaching people that we're not connected with. So we're going to select social ad paid. And then what I love about Command is they make it so simple, just step-by-step going through a process. So with everything in Command, I always recommend that you start at the top and just work your way down and fill in the information. Something went wrong. How interesting. So let me close this. All right, let's see if it works now. So we'll do KM Lead Gen Ad 730. So just give your campaign a name, anything that's relevant to you. It's not going to be seen by any consumers. It's just going to be for you to keep track of what ads you're running. All right, so the goal of the campaign. So we have a handful of different options here. Select the goal that's most relevant to your campaign. It doesn't have to be exact, and it's not going to affect delivery. It's just going to help you as you go back and you start reviewing multiple campaigns that you can run. You'll be able to compare and contrast the success of each campaign based on their goal. And it also is a reminder of, if you're trying to advertise a listing, it's going to be very different than trying to attract a listing or attract buyers. So today's goal is lead generating. So it's going to be attract, and we want to get buyers because we're using Keller Mortgage. So I'm going to select attract buyers. Now it's going to ask where will your campaign run? First and foremost, Facebook. Now, I'm not a big Twitter user, so I don't have Twitter connected. If you are a big Twitter user, then you may want to select Twitter. But since I am only going to run on Facebook, what I would recommend is that you also run on Instagram. The reason is Facebook owns both platforms, and they're able to optimize delivery on both platforms to whichever one is delivering the most impressions or leads based on whatever your goal is. So why not run on Instagram? I mean, I'm a millennial, and there's a lot of other millennials on Instagram, and they may see my ad offering Keller Mortgage, and they say, oh, okay, yeah, it's worth clicking on, and I may get a lead. But in the event that Instagram doesn't deliver any leads, Facebook will just optimize the delivery off of Instagram and all onto Facebook. So in my opinion, it's no impression or no lead lost by running on both platforms. But that is a personal call. So I'm going to select Facebook and Instagram and click Set Up Campaign. All right. So again, we just kind of walk through this step by step, start at the top and work our way down. So here you'll see our first item is no listing selected. We're not advertising a listing today. We're all advertising Keller Mortgage as a means to start the conversation with potential buyers. So we don't need to select a listing. If you ever want to run a listing ad, let me know. We can set up some time to talk through that. Now, the next item is add text. So we're going to put in our main copy here. I already have some pre-made ad text that I took from Nick Baldwin ads that he posted in Command Your Conversion on Facebook. If you are not a part of the Command Your Conversion Facebook group, I highly recommend that you join. There are constantly agents and leaders within Keller Williams that are posting really successful ads, the copy that they've had, the images. So I recommend that you join, so that way you can see what other agents are doing and pick and choose the things that you think might be successful for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in my main copy text. So for time, I'm just going to paste that in. So the Keller Mortgage Year Plus loan has 0 lender and origination fees plus $1,000 towards third-party costs on loans over $150K. See if you qualify below and save some cash. Simple, to the point. One thing that is really interesting, and I don't understand it, it's kind of outside of my wheelhouse, but emojis work really well for Facebook ads. I don't know why. I guess it just shows off a little bit of your personality, makes people feel like it's less of an ad and more of a piece of content they would want to engage in. So I recommend that you use emojis. So for this main copy, so let's, we can click on emojis and we can click, let's see if we search for 0, let's do none, no. So I like this little circle with a cross through it. So I'm going to I'm going to move that over here, and then I will paste that right there. Third-party cost. So we'll do some cash, money. All right, so let me just cut that, and then I'm going to paste it there. So it just, it looks cute. People like it. See if you qualify below. So let's do where are the hands up that are very excited. Perfect. Oh, what I do? So let me. All right. So let me cut this, and I'm going to paste it here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to delete that exclamation point. Perfect. So now I've added some emojis. Just kind of go through, depending on whatever copy you're using, find just a couple little emojis that you can add in there to make it look cute and fun. I promise it's going to help get people more interested in clicking on your ad. All right. Actually, I'm going to make that. So change that to and. And the reason I made that change to the ampersand is because over here in the right-hand side, as you update your text and your copy, you'll be able to get a preview of what it looks like. And for whatever reason, the exclamation point was down on the third line, and I didn't like that. So I wanted everything to be on those two lines. So the next is going to be our headline, which is going to be this main bolded text right here. So I'm going to copy this over here, and it's get $1,000 back at closing, really, exclamation point. And then for the description, find out more about Zero Plus. And if you wanted to, you could add some emojis here. Some of the popular emojis for this area might be the fingers pointing down, so that way people know that they should click on the link below. So you can let me just copy this and we'll paste it a few more times. Perfect. It's that simple. So, and all of this copy came from Command Your Conversion. I did not write any of it. It's the same thing. So you could go to Command Your Conversion and look for other ads and copy that you may be interested in and find some that would work well for you. So I'm going to click Save Add Text. And now I'm going to go to Add Media and click on Configure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add images, select media for this campaign. And it's going to give me a couple options. Choose from listing, but we're not doing that. Add images or add video. So I'm going to select Add Images. And I can choose from design. So as I mentioned to you earlier, one of the benefits of working within designs is I can pull that ad or that piece of content directly from designs into campaigns, and I don't have to download it and I don't have to upload it. It's that simple. So I click Browse Design Library, and it's going to pull up all my designs. So I'll just select the Stream Home for what I made today, and it's going to automatically add that. We'll just give it a second to load. Select was not ready to use. Okay. Let's try this again. Select Browse. All right. There we go. Now it loaded properly. So you can see there, it looks a little wonky there. Don't worry, it will give us an option to resize in just a second. So then click Preview and Crop Image. And this will give us the opportunity, if we wanted to resize it to be wide, square, or vertical. We selected the Facebook sized ad, so we'll just leave it as wide. You click Save Image. And there we go. It now updates the preview on the right-hand side. You can see how it looks. And since we're not running a Facebook or a listing, we should be fine without having to run the DBA logo. So I click Save Add Media, and we're good to go. Now we're going to go through our channel options, which is Facebook and Instagram, because those are the channels that I selected when we were setting up the campaign. If you chose Twitter, it would show up as well. So our account, so this is my personal account, and then over here where it says page, I'm going to select the business page that I want to have my ad run through. So I'm going to select Nicholas Core Real Estate Group, and then you'll see it pulls in my logo and it lets it updates the name of the advertiser right there. Below that, it's going to say Instagram ad position, and we have two options, Instagram ad and Instagram story. I personally recommend that you run an Instagram ad so it's in someone's timeline on Instagram, because over here on the right-hand side, we have a quick preview, and I can show you if I select Instagram story, it'll show me what a consumer would see for an Instagram story. And it just says your dream home is waiting, and there's no copy or anything, so it's kind of confusing. So to me, this would be a waste of an impression that wouldn't likely drive a lead. So I don't want to run an Instagram story. So let's leave it as Instagram ad. And an Instagram ad, this is what it'll look like on Instagram. So here is the main copy right there. Good to go. All right. Below that is destination. So we can set a destination for people viewing your ad. We have two options: use the Facebook lead gen form or use a site or landing page. So this campaign is a lead generating ad, so we want to use the Facebook lead gen form. To do that, you'll click the Facebook lead gen form. If it's your first time running a Facebook ad using the lead gen form, a pop-up will show up and it'll ask you to confirm that you accept the terms and conditions of running Facebook, of using the lead gen form. And then there'll be another quick accept button for you to hit as well. So I have a quick question here. If you have your logo on the ad, doesn't the KFA logo have to be on it too? So great question. I would ask Lynn or Alita that, because that's going to be a compliance ad. And I don't want to answer incorrectly. But I'll answer. My thought was we only have to include the KWFA logo if we're advertising a listing. But I may be wrong. So check with Lynn or Alita on that. So once you've accepted the terms and conditions of using the Facebook lead gen form, you'll be able to select it. Then we can have our call to action button. So this button down here, it says learn more. We have sign up or apply now. You could select apply now because it is a loan to kind of see, if they would qualify. To me, apply now seems really intense. I may just be interested in learning about a 0+ loan. I'm not ready to apply for it. So I'm just going to leave it as learn more. It seems a little bit less intense for me as a consumer. Now, we do have to have a follow-up destination URL, because the way that the lead gen form works is when a consumer's on Facebook, they see your ad and they're like, oh yeah, I'm interested in 0+ loans. They click on it. Then a Facebook pop-up will show up and it'll say, submit your information to learn more about Keller Mortgage 0+ loan. And it will pre-populate their name, email address, phone number, all the lead information that we would want. They would then click submit. And then once they click on that submit button, they then go to a follow-up destination. So here we want to make sure that we're sending them to a relevant place to Keller Mortgage. What better place to send them than to your own personal Keller Mortgage site? So I'm going to open up a new web browser, and I have saved the Keller Mortgage agent portal. So I can save, I'll share this URL with you in the chat box. Come right here. So you can save this Keller Mortgage URL, and then every agent has their own individual URL. So once you go to the portal, you can come down here to My KM Settings, click on that, and it should work. I don't know why it's not working. Ooh. Let me refresh real fast. All right, so if I click on KM Settings, which it should, I don't know why it's not working. Nothing is working on this site. Well, this is not great. Okay. Well, I saved right here to my own personal, within Keller Mortgage settings, I have my own personal Keller Mortgage link. So I can copy this link, copy it. I don't know why none of these buttons are working. And I can use this specific URL as my follow-up destination URL. What is going on with my computer today? Sorry, guys, this is being very strange. So I can use that URL as a follow-up destination. So that way, when they go to learn more about Keller Mortgage, they're already assigned to me as the agent that they would and receive all the information. So it'd be another way to capture their lead, and they let them know that they're working with me as an agent. What is going on here? So, okay. So something's happening, and I apologize with my computer, and it's not letting me paste in this URL. or select anything. So that's great. So for whatever reason, it's not letting me do anything. Let's see if it works now. Okay. Let me come back to this URL. This is one of the benefits of live training. So thank you for your patience. Perfect. So I copied that URL. Okay, now that it's working. So if you come to the Keller Mortgage URL that I sent you, then scroll down and click on My KM Settings. Here you'll have your own personal KM link. So if you click copy, I'll show you what that goes to. Okay, well, maybe not. Let me come back over here. Copy. Paste and go. So this is what their landing page would look like. I'm just going to do a whole little video on Keller Mortgage. And
Welcome to Zero Plus by
loan application, and then you see here's my information, and they can fill in their information here to get someone to contact them about Keller Mortgage. So I'm going to use that URL. Oh my goodness. All right. Paste. So that'll go directly to my affiliated Keller Mortgage landing page. Whew, all right. Scrolling down, we're going to get to our ad targeting, and we have two options here. We have target my database and target a custom audience. Since we want to talk to people that we don't currently know, we want to select target a custom audience. We want to deliver this ad out to people that we don't know. You could always run target my database, but that really is already going to be speaking to people that you already know. So it's not going to be a ton of benefit. That you could probably just run an organic post. Doesn't that create too many hurdles for them to use Facebook lead gen and the KM form? Yeah, I mean it is a fair amount of hurdles. You could also, if you wanted to, on your agent website, you could create a Keller Mortgage page that you could put like the calculator and stuff in, and you could send them there as a landing page destination, and then they could just click around and play with the information as they want. Because Rudiger, you're right, the more hurdles that you make someone jump over, the less likely they are to get through that whole process. So there's a lot of different options of what you can do for your landing page experience. But I just wanted to point out that you do have that Keller Mortgage portal option as a personalized landing page. So for targeting, we're going to target a custom audience. And to first get started with that, we want to select a location. So depending on what part of town around Atlanta that you work in, you'll want to look up that city. So for me, let's say I'm just going to pull. Okay, so apparently my keyboard and nothing is working today. So what I would do is I would select Atlanta. This is so strange. Why is my keyboard not working? Let's see if I can hit save as draft. This is so odd. All right. Let me come over here. Let's see if I can try this again. Edit campaign. Hopefully now it'll let me type in there so I can actually start to pull in some of the information. Because if I can't type, then that is really going to derail all the rest of the training when we create our SmartPlan. Because I have to type that in. All right. Command is going through it today. All right. So I appreciate your patience. So basically what we're going to do now is try to set up our targeting, and we would want to select a city within the greater metro Atlanta area that would kind of be your home base, and then you would set a perimeter around that, a distance of up to 20 miles around that city to deliver that ad, because you'd want to deliver it with to buyers within a certain area. Okay, perfect. So I'll click on configure. Let me come down here to search. All right, and it's still not letting me type. This is very odd. So what you would want to do is you would want to select Atlanta or Roswell or Marietta or Decatur or any of the cities that you want that you really focus in on. Then for the radius, you can, make this bigger or smaller. 15 is the smallest radius that you can use. But you can make it as big as you want. Now, you don't want it to be too big, because if you have a 40-mile radius around Roswell, you probably don't want to drive up to Dallas, Georgia, to go, sell a home. Yeah, I may need to restart my computer, which I really don't want to do in the middle of a training, because that would not be beneficial. Yes, it is a wireless keyboard with batteries, and let's see. Is that 55%? Actually, let me see if I disconnect that, if this will work now. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. I think we should be good to go. Thank you, Ryan. Or Rudiger, sorry. So now I can come here and I can type in Atlanta, and it will pull up Atlanta, Georgia. You could type in Roswell. Select Roswell, Georgia. Do your 15-mile radius. And then we'll want to start adding some expert targeting. This is what's really going to set your ad up to be successful, because you're going to target people that are in the right mindset and have exhibited behaviors that lets Facebook know that they are in the market to buy a new home. So I'm going to click on add or change interests. And you can just click on interest, and there's a ton here, a ton of them. You can go through. So what I might do, the first ones I would add, it would probably be Zillow, because Zillow is going to be the most commonly used home search platform, and then realtor.com. And then I may look for mortgage. So mortgage loans, maybe mortgage calculator. Now, one thing I want to point out is that as I'm adding these icons up here in the top right-hand corner, it's selected or. You have the options of and or. You always want to make sure that you're selecting or, because you want to target people that are interested in mortgage loans, or people that may be interested in mortgage calculators, or working on Zillow. If you start selecting and, it's going to only target the people that are looking for mortgage loans and using a mortgage calculator and using Zillow and using realtor.com. That'll make your audience so small that it probably wouldn't be able to deliver. So always make sure that you select or. You can search home and see home automation, home buyer, first time home buyer grant. Why not? So you can just go through, you can add as many as you want. You don't want to add too many, but you could go through this list and spend as much time kind of getting an idea of all the different audiences that you could reach. So once you've selected all of your targeting, expert targeting layers, click on Save Selection. And you can see we have a bunch of different audiences. So Zillow has an audience of 34.4 million. Now that's going to be nationwide, not just for within the 15-mile radius of Roswell, Georgia. But you can see here we have some, some pretty big, actually, mortgage loans has 167 million people in that. So it's a huge audience. So we're good to go there. So I'm going to click Save Facebook and Instagram Ads. And then the last item is going to be duration and budget. Now the system is going to automatically default to a 10-day campaign. You can set that to run for as short as you want. Keep in mind, it usually takes between 24 and 48 hours for an ad to be reviewed and approved by Facebook in order to go live. So just keep that in mind as you're selecting an end date, that it may not actually start running until a day or two later. So we can run this, this is a lead gen ad. Let's set this to run through the end of August, so it has a full month. It's going to default the budget to be $30. So it wants at least $1 per day to run. So I'm going to update this to $100. So it's going to have at least $1.60. Be mindful of how much money you spend. You could spend a ton of money on Facebook ads. It's really all going to be about trial and error when you first get started to see what works well for you and gets the type of leads that you want. So before you start investing hundreds and hundreds of, maybe thousands of dollars, do some tests to see what works best. So once I've updated my total campaign budget, below that, there's two options: to distribute evenly across channels or use automatic placements for Facebook, Instagram ads. This is what I was mentioning to you earlier, where Facebook owns both platforms and can optimize delivery based on which platform is providing the most number of leads. So you will want to use the automatic placements for Facebook, Instagram. That way it doesn't matter which platform it delivers on, as long as that platform is providing the leads. So once you have that selected, we have our campaign for 31 days, custom allocation of $100 in total. Click Save Duration and Budget. And at this point, you would click Publish Campaign. And that would submit this ad for review from Facebook. For today, I'm just going to click Save as Draft and click Yes. Once your campaign is live and you log back into campaigns, this will be your dashboard, and you'll be able to, if I scroll down, I'll show you some ads I've run in the past. It'll show you the duration of the campaign, the cost, the CPM, which is cost per thousand. So how much money does it cost to reach 1,000 people? The total number of clicks and the cost per click. And then this CPLC is going to be the cost per lead captured. So I did not run a lead generating campaign, so that's why it shows $0 and 0 leads. But if you wanted to see the leads that have come through from this campaign, so if you're running multiple lead generating campaigns, I can click on where it shows 0 leads. I can click on this, and it's going to update open a new browser window and take me back into contacts and show me all the leads that were generated from that ad specifically. So that's going to be one way that you'll be able to see your leads. Up here at the top, where it says leads captured, you can click on that icon. That'll open up the browser window and show you all the leads that have come in from Facebook. When you're running a lead generating campaign, you will also get notifications from your Keller app, as long as you're logged in, that a new lead has entered your command system, and you can call them immediately from the Keller app. So once you have retrieved that lead, you've called them, texted them, done the normal follow-up that you would with any new lead, now we want to put them on a drip campaign. Based on the conversations we've had with them, they may be looking to buy in the next 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, and we want to put them on a drip campaign to keep them top of mind and as a part of our pipeline for the future. Does the money come from from a credit card on your Facebook business page, or is there a credit card field in command? Great question. So it will come from a credit card that you put in command. So if it's your first time setting up a paid ad, once you click publish, if you don't already have a credit card in command, it'll prompt you to put one in. But you can click on payments up here in the top right-hand corner, and it'll show you all the credit cards that you have added here. And the way that Facebook works, the Facebook adds through command, is so that campaign that I just set up was for $100. Command is going to go ahead and charge me $100 upfront. It's going to then put that $100 in a pool of money in command, and then as my campaign runs and starts incurring expenses, it will deduct that money from that pool within command. So that's how that works. Now, for any money that you don't spend, it goes into credits. So you can see here, I have $229 worth of credits for campaigns that I had paused early for different reasons. So I showed you the 3 different ways that a lead will come into the system. Another way is if you come into contacts and you click on filter, you can select lead only, so to show all the leads that you have, and then you can click on created. And let's say you're only running one lead generating campaign. I can look within the last 30 days or however many days that my lead generating campaign has been running. Click leads only, 15 days, and click apply. And it's only going to show me those leads. So I haven't been running any lead generating campaign, so that's why it now show up there. So that's another way that you can check which leads you have. But now we want to create a smart plan. So to do that, I'm going to click on the Smart Plans icon, which is right here. It's going to be the fourth icon down, Smart Plans. And I go through Smart Plans in TCO2, so I don't want to go through too much, but I want to walk us through how to create a custom Smart Plan. So up in the top right-hand corner, I'll click on Create, and it's going to ask me for a plan name. So my name is Keller Mortgage Lead Gen 730. And then click Apply. And now this is going to put us into the Smart Plan editor that we can go through and make all the updates and changes to. But a real quick overview of the layout here. So in the top left-hand corner, we have our name, so Keller Mortgage Lead Gen. If you ever want to edit that, you can click on the pencil and you can rename that. So Rudiger asked, do both the Facebook Lead Gen and the Agent Keller Mortgage websites forms lead into command? The Facebook Lead Gen form does auto populate into command, and I'm not sure about the Keller Mortgage. I think you'd get an email from that, but I can double check on that for you, Rudiger, and follow up. Let me take a note. All right. So on this website, like I said, here's our name. You can edit that. In the middle here, it shows 1 day, 0 steps, 0 touches. As we start adding various steps and touches to our smart plan, this is going to update because there are certain rules and limitations about the number of steps and touches that we can have for a custom smart plan. So over here on the left-hand side, it's going to show each step of our smart plan. And then on the right-hand side is the widgets of where we would add each one of those steps. But before we get started, I want to walk through the tips and rules for building the smart plan. So I'm going to click here because this is going to be our guidelines and our instructions for how to build this smart plan. So when creating a task, some of the steps that you could add in command are tasks for yourself to do. So whether that is adding someone to a neighborhood nurture, getting their email address, writing them a handwritten note, you can set up a task as a reminder for when you log into command. It allows you to up to 7 tasks a day per smart plan, but delays must be added to include more. So the reason is that the system doesn't want you to inundate yourself with so many tasks. Because if you have too many tasks, you're not going to complete them, and then the benefit of the smart plan is you're going to miss it. So it limits the number of tasks that you can add per day. And then for sending SMS text messages and emails, it requires at least a 1-day delay between scheduled texts or emails. The reason is everything from command and the way that we set up these drip campaigns, we want to come from a place of contribution. So we want to be adding value and information to our contacts' lives. If we are sending them 3 text messages a day and then 4 emails, it's going to be irritating. They're going to block us and they're not going to want to do business with us. So this is kind of a firewall to prevent us from pestering contacts and really making sure that we're providing that value. We have to set a delay of at least 1 day between steps. So if we send a text message, there has to be a 1-day delay before I can then add another action of sending an email or vice versa. And delays cannot be set back to back. There has to be at least 1 action between each delay. So I can delay for 1 day, and then the next day write an email or send an email. The next day it would be another delay and then a text message. But I couldn't do a 1-day delay and then another 1-day delay. And the smart plans total cannot exceed 90 days. So when you make a custom smart plan, it can only be up to 3 months. You are able to add contacts from one smart plan and have it automatically add them to another smart plan. The delays must be between steps, and you cannot add them to more than one version of a canned smart plan. So I could not add them to an 8x8 campaign twice. Due in, so when you set yourself up for tasks, you have to set a due date for how long you want before you need to complete that, because that task and that step is likely going to affect the following steps. So to make sure that you add them, if your task is to add their neighborhood to their contact list, and then the following step is to add them to the monthly neighborhood nurture, they won't be able to be added to that monthly neighborhood nurture if you haven't added their address or their neighborhood. So it has to be due within 14 days, because after 14 days, you're probably not going to do it. You're going to forget it, and you're going to have so many other tasks that have started to build up that you were overwhelmed with the amount of work that you have to do in trying to manage a system that's supposed to be automated. Restarting the flow. So you are able to restart a SmartPlan and have it kind of go through itself multiple times. The SmartPlan has to be at least 14 days in length, and the restart has to be the last action. And I'll walk through this and show you how you would set this up in Command or in the SmartPlan in just a moment. And then per SmartPlan, touches cannot exceed 7 touches within 7 days, 12 touches within 30 days, and 15 touches total in one SmartPlan, so 90 days. That is because we want to make sure that we are providing value and information and we're not annoying and pestering. So if we have too many touches within a short amount of time, we're not coming from a place of value. And here, the 7 touches within 7 days, up here in the middle, where that's telling you the steps and touches, this is going to calculate our total number of days, steps, and touches to make sure that we still are within those guidelines of total touches for total amount of time. So now that we walk through the guide on how to set up the SmartPlan, let's start setting up our SmartPlan. So let's set our first item. Let's send a text message. So here you'll see where it says from, it says your Twilio account is connected. I have a Twilio account. Twilio is going to be the third-party partner that KW has, that sends out automated text messages or mass text messages through the system. It doesn't use your personal phone number. And if you sign up, it does cost money. It's 0.0075 cents per text message up to 160 characters. And you will be you'll receive an Austin, Texas area code number. For $1 a month, you can rent an Atlanta area code, and I recommend that you do that. Just in that way, as you are reaching out to contacts in Atlanta, they don't think, like, why is this person from Austin, Texas asking me about Atlanta real estate? That seems so weird. If you do not have a Twilio account and you don't want to sign up for it, this will show up as a task. So when you log into Command in the morning, it'll say, you need to send a text message to XYZ contact saying, and then you have our text down here. So then you have to manually put that into your phone and send it. I like the automation. I want it to be simple. The whole point of SmartPlans is to be a drip campaign that you can kind of set it and forget it and go about your other lead generating tactics and showings and closings and all that. So my first text message, I'm going to say, hi. And then we have these merge fields. So over here on the right-hand side, we see the F within those parentheses. Those are called merge fields. And that allows us to add fields in these text messages so that when these messages go out, the system will auto-populate that piece of information so it looks like a personalized message. So here I want to say contact first name. Are you still thinking about buying a home? Interest rates are at a historic low. Keller mortgage could save you thousands on a new home. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that since these contacts don't have your phone number, they're not going to know who it is. So you're going to want to write who you are. So I put Nick Core, Keller Williams, First Atlanta. Now, I'm just going through here and trying to make these text messages and these messages really quickly off the top of my head to show you how to do it. Don't actually copy any of the words I'm using. Find whatever text and email scripts work best for you. So once you have your first text, you'll click on the save button right there, and it's saved. And now that, as we know from the guidelines, we have to set a delay between actions. So click set a delay, and I can set a 2-day delay and save. Now let's make a phone call, because it's probably best that we just touch base with them again. So we can set our task name, and the task name is going to be what shows up on the command home screen when you log in on the taskbar. So we want to make it as simple and clean to understand. So that way you don't have to spend a lot of time clicking between each task. I can look at that task name and know, okay, this is exactly what I need to do. So what I want to do is I want to set this task name up to say, call ABC person at their phone number. So to do that, I'm going to click, I'll type in call. Now, for whatever reason, when you're setting up a task name and you want to use the merge fields, you have to do them backwards. So for this, I'll do call, contact phone number, contact last name, contact first name. So it's weird, but now it reads call, contact first name, last name, phone number. And then I can come down here and call description, say call, and then I would select contact first name, contact last name, contact phone number, and see if they are still interested in Keller Mortgage and buying a home. And then if you want to add a hyperlink for any additional information that you want to like reference before you call, you can add that hyperlink there. And then here's where it says due in. And so I mentioned before it's due in 14 days. I'll give myself 2 days to call. So depending on the number of leads that I get, I'll just give myself 2 days to call. Then I click save. Now I'll scroll back up here. We'll set a delay. Scroll down. We'll leave it, let's just do 1 day. Click save. And then let's type an email for our next one. So just click on email and then scroll down. Now a reply to email, missing email address. Oh, that's weird. So click set up your command email address. That should already be in there. I don't know why it's not loading properly. So let me just click on manage. Again, one of the benefits of live training. But command email is the free email that you have through command. And we want it to show as having come from me with my name and my reply email address. All right, so an error occurred. So that's cool. Well, let's come back over here and we'll set it up later. So pretend this says reply email address nicholascore@kw.com. Loan subject, so let's say loan rates even lower. And then I can come down here to type in my email and I can say hi. Use the merge fields again. Hi, first name. Did you see the news on mortgage interest rates? Now is a great time to buy, and you could save thousands of dollars. Let's see, what other merge fields do we have? Just email, stuff like, okay. You should check out some homes this weekend. What is your schedule like? I don't know. I'm just making this up as we go along here. Then do thank you, Nick. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you are sending an email from SmartPlan, your email signature isn't going to be included. So you will want to add that just so that it looks like a normal email and not a prefabricated email. So I'll just put my information there, and then I can add a URL. So this will be my email right here at kw.com. Click add link. Perfect, and then click save. All right, and then you can just see how simple that is. So I'll just come up here, I'll set a delay of 2 days, or let's do 3 days. And then I can set a task. And then I can do add. And we'll do contact last name, contact first name, address to contact card. Perfect. And then as description, add address to contact card. So their neighborhood populates. All right, so I click save there. Oh, I need to do a due in, so I'll do due in 3 days. Hit save. Let me come up here, set a delay. We'll do 2 days. Save. Now, I told you earlier that we can do a handful of items. So we can restart the flow. So if I wanted to, I could set this to restart and they would receive all these text messages and emails again. Or what I can do is I can add them to a SmartPlan. So once they kind of go through this SmartPlan of my lead gen follow-up, and let's say I don't ever hear from them, there's no response, there's a handful of other SmartPlans I can add them to. So for this one, I thought I'll just add them to the monthly neighborhood nurture. So click on add SmartPlan. And then I'll be able to add them to any of the activated SmartPlans that I have. So I can add them to this monthly neighborhood nurture, biweekly, the take command, the Eric Test Plan Mother's Day, all these different SmartPlans that I have. So I'd click on my monthly neighborhood nurture. Another great SmartPlan that you might want to consider may be the midterm or long-term nurture campaigns for those clients and contacts that are looking kind of between the 4 and 6 months and maybe 6 to 8 months out from buying a new home. So the great thing about this is that after I do all this activity and all these text messages and emails are sent out and I don't ever hear back from this person, the system's going to automatically add them to the monthly neighborhood nurture. So I don't have to think about it. I don't have to remember, oh yeah, I need to go add them. It's going to be done automatically. So then they'll be put on that drip campaign. And every single month, they'll get updated information about their neighborhood. It's that simple. So I'll click save. Now you can go add tons more steps. And I recommend that you really build this out and be robust. But one thing I really want to point out and recommend is make sure that you do it in your voice. You have your own unique style as a realtor and what works well for you. Use that. Don't try to sound too professional. Sound like a normal person. You're trying to talk to potential clients and you want to get to know them. They want to get to know you. So make sure that everything you do is in your own tone of voice. Up here at the top, you can see it's updated. So this SmartPlan lasts 9 days. It has 9 steps and 4 touches. So yes, there's 9 steps, but 5 of those steps are either a delay or a task that I will do that won't actually touch the client. Our next steps are you can click save it right. So that way it saves it in the system. And then we'll want to add contacts. And we're running out of time, so I'll show you really quickly how to do this in multiple ways. So I can click add contact here, and you can search by name. You can search by tag. So if I want to select people that are cat owners, for whatever reason, I would have added them to a custom tag, and I could select all those there. But even more easily than that, I'm going to exit out of here, leave. I'm going to come back to my contacts. So remember earlier, I showed you how to filter. So if you click filter and you can do leads created within the last, this campaign's 30 days. So I'll do create within the last 30 days and click apply. And that's going to pull up all of your leads here. And then you can select them all by selecting this. So let me actually remove this filter just so I can show you. And I'll just search for myself. First name. Clear all. All right, apply. There we go. So then you could, let's say you did your filter of leads all within the last 30 days. You could select all of your people here. And then you have this drop-down menu, select bulk action, and I can come down here to add to SmartPlan. And so I can add all those contacts to this SmartPlan right here, the lead gen SmartPlan, and it shows the information. And could hit select, and I can start them immediately. I can start them on a specific date, and I could stagger them over the next couple of days. So if let's say I have 100 contacts, I stagger them so only 10 are added per day. And that would probably be the simplest way that you could add your contacts to this SmartPlan follow-up. So we just kind of went through a lot of information and I had some technical difficulties this morning. So I really appreciate everyone's patience. But I want to what questions do you guys have? Anything that you want to see again before we jump off? Feel free to unmute yourself, or you can type any questions that you have.
So Nick, basically what you're saying is once you create your Facebook campaign and then you start getting the leads coming in, that's when you start adding them to this SmartPlan. Is that correct?
Correct. My recommendation would be, as soon as that lead comes in, you call them immediately. If they don't answer, send the normal lead gen stuff that you're taught in Ignite. Then once you kind of go through those normal steps, then you can add them to that SmartPlan. So that way you can put them on the drip campaign, so you don't have to go out of your way every single day to call or email them.
Gotcha. Yeah, because you've actually made that contact with them and had a conversation with them, because you really don't want to be adding people to your command database if you don't actually have a conversation with them. Is that correct?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Unless you're planning on doing a full farm, and you're like, because I do farming and I don't want to clutter up my command database with people who I actually have not had a conversation with.
So that's why they're marked as leads.
Yes.
So it kind of separates them out from actual contacts. So that way, the lead is the people that you don't have a relationship with.
Sure.
So that kind of helps keep it clean for you. So that way you can differentiate against the people you're actually working with and have a relationship with, and people that you don't know and you're trying to get to know.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, but I mean, as long as they're, the lead comes in from Facebook, they'll be marked as a lead. It shouldn't dirty anything up in your command. And then just put them on that SmartPlan. And then if you do have a conversation with them and you say, oh, okay, I don't need to add you to this SmartPlan because you're not actually going to be looking to buy, or you are looking to move now, so I can just go ahead and we can start working together. So,
okay. You categorize them as to how soon, or whether or not they're actual real leads, or if they're just inquiring.
Correct. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me this morning. As you guys start setting up your Facebook lead campaigns, as well as any SmartPlan follow-ups, let me know what questions you have. I'm happy to help. We can set up another one-on-one time to go through it together if you'd like. But I really appreciate you joining me, and good luck with your Facebook campaigns.